Okay, so right now, we're going to look at just a couple of adjustments for Urdhva Danurasana. We already know that this is a challenging pose. We already know that this is a deep pose. So one thing that you can do here for students as they're in the pose is just kind of lightly put a ball of the foot on their ball of the foot to remind them to root down into their feet. Another thing you could do is take their thighs and just energetically internally rotate them. Now I'm not pulling her in, I'm just gently wrapping her down so that she remembers to do it herself. A slightly more advanced pelvic adjustment for this pose would be to put your hands on their hip bones and then you talk to them. They'll push up against me. So now she's pushing up against me, I'm pulling down onto her and she's drawing her tailbone forward. And take one more breath and then lower yourself down. Okay, and if you could just move a few inches toward your feet when you come down, there you go. And so the next adjustment I'm going to give will be for the wrists because the wrists get really intense in this pose. And there are some students that are like almost there, but they're not quite there. So I'm actually going to do two things, and she's gonna have to come down in a second, but here we are. So one thing is you can bring your hands to her outer arms and just pull her triceps in. So you are technically externally rotating her shoulder head, giving her that space. That's one thing you can do. And draw your chin in and lower down. And then a slightly more advanced thing that you can offer to them, will come all the way down, is to bring your hands to either side of her ears and take her hands onto your ankles. And then you say to them, squeeze my ankles a lot. So really give them a firm grip. Now, for some students, that might be enough. You don't need to give them an assist to come up. But for a lot of students that are almost there, they can't quite clear the ground, they almost have the strength, but not really, you actually can help them by bringing your hands under their shoulder heads. So I'm holding that place at the upper trap, and then I can say, okay, be brave for a second, right? People can get scared here. So squeeze your elbows in, push into your hands, and then come up to the top of your head and press up. So now I'm actually helping her, right? I'm helping her by taking my hands and pulling them upward. Really a firm cupping of my hands around her shoulders, which helps the neck release. And you give it one more breath there. And she's so open that it's actually probably in her way here, but for a lot of students, it's pretty releasing. And then as you exhale, come down, tuck your chin in, and lower. So anybody who has problematic wrists, this holding of the ankle gives a lot of release to the pose.